Ooh, 9:07. Good morning. Okay, I hope you could hear me. All right, welcome to day 3 of our challenge. We're still fairly fresh with this practice and still getting ourselves familiar with it. It is cold in my yoga shed. So we're doing 2 meditations. Both of them are with the breath, but the breath is different at each one, and it gives you a variety. And what I had thought of doing yesterday is recording a full-length meditation for both of them, and I will post it up on YouTube. And for those of you who are ready and wanting to dive in deep for a full version of these meditations, you will have the opportunity to do that by following the YouTube video. So I will work on that over this weekend. Good morning, my Canadian dear friend. So here we go. I wanted to spend a little bit more time. So in each day of 40 days, however it flows and however it comes, I'm going to spend a little bit of time explaining certain concepts that you may or may not be familiar with. So in our meditation, when we tune in and after end of the breath, when we do those 3 deep inhales, there is such a thing, and I mentioned it yesterday, is root lock. A root lock is the contraction of the pelvic muscles, the muscles of the perineum, rectum, sex organ, and also pulling the belly button inwards. So you're really squeezing. The way I like to say it, and it's gonna definitely stick out in your memory, is imagine that you have to fart, pee, and someone's about to punch you in the stomach and you flex. So you're flexing all of that bottom area really tightly. And that impacts the flow of energy, and it also helps us ground. So the Sanskrit term for it is mula. Mul means root, mula band. Band means lock. So I also invite you to think of it not only as a root lock, but that's also a gateway. It's a gateway. It's a gateway for the energy to flow. So when we finish the meditation, we take those 3 deep inhales where we're stretching the arms out to the side in the first one and then up overhead in the second one. At the same time as we retain our breath, I want you to focus on pulling up, lifting on that root lock. It doesn't have to be super tight, like, oh my God, but to best of your ability where you're creating a sensation that you're feeling the tightening happening. So the same root lock applies when we tune in. After we say and chant our mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, and we take that deep inhale at the end, we also kind of gently contract the root lock. And again, for some of you that mantra doesn't feel familiar, or you're not resonating with it, or you're not connecting with it, you don't know what you're saying, it's okay. I've been there. I know the feeling. So it's okay. So as we chant, you could simply just take deep breath and invite your soul to be fully present. You could say something like, I invite my soul to be fully present in me now, or I invite my higher self to be present in me now. Something along these lines. You make your own words, whatever resonate with you. You could invite, or you could say, I allow my higher self to be, whatever. You do you, and I do what I know. It's taken me a little bit to also get familiar with the mantra, so I'm not restricting anyone to do it just this way. You find your way, because this is what's all about. Okay, so we've covered the root lock, we've covered the mantra, and let's begin our meditation. Today I wanted also to remind you that both of the meditations could be done with mentally chanting the mantra Sa-ta-na-ma. Sa-ta-na-ma is a mantra that is used a lot in Kundalini Yoga, and it's derived from Sat-nam. Sat-nam, truth is my identity. Sat means truth, Nam means name. So when we chant Sa-ta-na-ma, those are considered primary sounds. Sa means creation, all of infinity. Ta means, I believe, a life. Na means transformation, change, or death. And ma means rebirth. So it's a cycle of life. I promise you, you're not chanting any voodoo kind of stuff. These mantras are sacred. They have a particular vibration. And chanting, which is kind of like the nad yoga, the sound yoga, is a sacred practice, and it takes years to perfect the chant. So when we chant, we think we chant out loud. Please understand that it takes years to refine the body, refine the passage of the sound through your body to where it's magical. But what works for us in the meanwhile is our intention. In shamanic world, intention is everything. Intention is your command to the universe. So when we intend to do the practice and we intend to breathe a certain way, and our meditation is to invoke intuition or make our intuition stronger, it's our intention. So it has no way other than to work, to begin to shift things within you, that you begin to start noticing some changes in relation to you in your intuition. Whether you believe this or not is totally up to you, but that's how I envision it. That's how I believe in this practice, that when I sit down to do something, that is my intention behind my action that works. It's not just it's not enough to just intend and do nothing. Spiritual action is the intention, but the human action is to actually sit down and do it. So when we merge spiritual and human together, we gain the results. Okay, done talking. Let's tune in and we'll begin our practice. We're still staying at the 3-minute mark, and I will begin to increase that next week. And coincidentally, we started this challenge right at the Venus retrograde. So a daily dose of self-love at this time is absolutely necessary. All right, closing the eyes gently down if that feels safe and comfortable for you. Bringing the hands in front of the heart center. Beginning to inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Just lengthening the spine upwards. Exhaling, releasing the shoulder blades down the back. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply, suspend the breath, and lift up the root lock, Mula Bandha. And exhale. Good. So that is the way I tune in, and it took years to find my way. To me, it's like coaxing a little child to come play with me. So our first meditation, interlacing the fingers with the index finger pointing up. That's a Jupiter finger for expansion and wisdom. Thumbs are crossed, whichever way is natural for you. Bringing the mudra at the tip of the nose, right below. Your eyelids are lowered down, and you are gently gazing, so not staring too hard, but gently gazing at the tip of the index fingers. The breath is through the O-shaped mouth. We inhale in 4 equal strokes. So let me explain the measure of the breath and how can you pay attention to dividing that breath. Let's take a deep inhale, and we're going to imagine the line, right? So okay, so you have a visual. Now see what it would take to take the 4 equal strokes with that breath. The other way to do it is to measure from the tip of the nose to the root of the nose, and that's a stroke. So imagine inhaling, and that's 4. And then exhale through the nose, powerfully using the navel to push up. I hope this helps. So play along with it and see what is working for you in making the segments equal in the volume of prana that you're inhaling. All right, so again, we could use the mantra to mentally chant sa, ta, na, ma, and then exhale. And you could chant Waheguru, but I don't want to complicate it. So here we go. We're starting off with 3 minutes and begin. Last cycle. Deeply inhale through the O-shaped mouth. Extend your arms out to the side, palms facing up, and really stretch out. Lift up the root lock. Through the nose, exhale. One more time, two more times. Inhale deeply. Stretch up horizontally, palms facing up, and vertically through the spine. Lift up the root lock. Eyes are closed, dwelling in the third eye. Exhale. Now spread your fingers wide, still palms facing up. Inhale. Make the fingers tight like steel. Really plug in, stretch, stretch, squeeze the entire body. And exhale. Gently stay in the space. Notice any sensations in the body. Notice the thoughts that are floating through your mind. When you're ready, take a deep inhale and exhale. Very good. So that is part one. Stretch your legs out if you need to. And we begin our second meditation for self-blessing. So I think that one's very timely because, like I mentioned, Venus is in retrograde, is a planet that has aspects of love and I'll just say that, love, right? And so how can we give ourselves that daily dose of love? And to me, it's not necessarily the day at the spa or getting your nails done. It has to be so much deeper than that. I remember the days where getting my nails done was like, oh, it's a self-treat, I love it, it's my me time. Right now, for me, the way I feel about that, that's so shallow. That is extremely shallow. You know, what is it you do that cultivates that self-care, self-love? It could be listening to music that you appreciate. It could be taking a walk quietly without any phone or audiobooks or podcasts. It could be sitting down to draw. It could be crafting something. It could be just sitting outside and doing nothing, just being. And that is the new level of self-care. And unfortunately, to get through these times, we absolutely need it. We absolutely need practices that fill us up. So it could be dancing, it could be cooking, you know. Like for me, a self-care, self-love practice is making something that I enjoy, something that, you know, yesterday I had Russian ice cream and that really filled me up. It was like, yay, my inner child was ecstatic. So, you know, there's this fine line, you know, we start turning to food for comfort, but please be mindful what it is you're creating with food. You know, reaching for a bag of chips could be comforting temporarily and hindering in the long run. But when you set out to make something like a comfort food, and you charge that food with your love, and you play some soft music in the background, or music that you love, or you're dancing while you're cooking, that is different. So just giving you perspectives. All right, for this meditation, again, we could use a mental mantra, sa ta na ma. Your hands are coming overhead, thumbs are down, 4 fingers are together, you're creating a dome. Space between the fingers is about 12 inches. Your eyelids are just dropping down. Your eyes are not fully closed, even though it's very tempting to close them. I catch myself closing. Not a crime if you do, but when you notice yourself with eyes closed, just slightly open. There's got to be a little bit of light coming through the eyelids. This one is segmented breath through the nose. We're inhaling in 8 strokes now. So imagine that we took that inhale and we chopped the breath in 4. Now we have to make smaller parts to fit in the 8. So we're inhaling for 8 strokes. 8. Exhaling for 8. And then holding the breath out for 16, double the time. If it's too hard for you, do what you can with that one. The cheat sheet with the mantra is, remember you have 4 fingers, sa ta na ma, sa ta na ma, like that. So it helps you count. There's no crime in moving the fingers if it helps you. And at the end, we're stretching the arms up and back, opening up through the throat chakra, through the heart, and lifting up the sternum. So remember that, and I'll cue you through it, okay? Also 3 minutes. Let's take a deep inhale first, coming into asana posture. Exhale, bring the shoulder blades down. Lowering the eyelids and beginning to inhale 8 strokes. Exhaling 8 strokes. Suspending the breath for 16 seconds. Deeply inhale. Stretch your arms up, lean back, stretching the neck by gently stretching the chin upwards, holding that breath, lifting up the root lock. Exhale, arms out to the side and down. And again, inhale, stretch the arms up. Lower the head gently back, stretching and opening the throat center. Exhale. Last time. And exhale. Again, hands are resting on the knees. Close your eyes gently down. Just being in the space. Taking a deep inhale and exhale. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. Whew. Okay, I'd be curious to know how this makes you feel. Like if you start journaling, just curious if you could note the state of your mind before meditation, the state of the mind after meditation. Like if you're, if my mind is chatty, like, oh my God, what am I going to focus today? What am I going to say? And I constantly dismiss it because I know when I sit here, something totally opposite is going to come in. And then I don't want to feel like, oh, I forgot to say this, I forgot to say that. So that happens to me. And so after, when it's just all done, it's like, oh, I feel so good. I don't even worry about what I've been talking about. And yesterday I was rewatching day 2 and I was like, oh, I said that? It's like, I don't even know who is talking. So just notice for yourself. You don't have to share it publicly if you don't want to, but I just invite you to study your mind. Study your mind, study your patterns, because when we discover repetitive patterns, then we could identify if they're serving us or hindering us, and then we could start altering and changing them if you feel that they're outdated or they've served their purpose and you no longer need them. If they're not helping your spirit expand and elevate you, then those patterns perhaps need to go. So, but you would be the judge of that. Okay, bringing our hands back into the heart center in the prayer mudra. Let's take a deep breath of gratitude, bowing to yourself for showing up. Inhale. Exhale. Sealing the practice with one long Sat Nam. Inhale. Sat Nam. I love you all very much. I'm talking to my friend and she says, I don't understand, it's all in English, so I might be doing bilingual at some point, so don't be surprised. I wish you a beautiful Christmas Eve. If you're celebrating that, enjoy your family, enjoy your space, enjoy your friends, enjoy a hot cup of chocolate, and I will see you tomorrow. Sat Nam.